people overwhelmingly say that they stay on Facebook because of groups that they love, right? So if you can create an environment and a community like that for potential customers or potential team members, they're going to want to be a part of your world instead of being like repelled or annoyed by your world.
All right. Hey, Authentic Influencers. I am so excited to have Beak Sadek. Welcome. You know a lot about me because I was introduced on your podcast, but I know some of your story, but I would love for people who don't know who you are to share your story about how you got into network marketing and how you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I would love to. First of all, Brooke, thank you for having me. And I'm so excited to be here. So thanks again. Yeah, so nice to meet you all. My name is Beck, and I have been in the network marketing space for 10 years now. And I was introduced to it 10 years ago because I had recently quit my job to become a health coach. And, you know, health coaches are like hot commodities for network marketers. You know, like you say you're a health coach and network marketers come out of the woodworks, they want you on their team. I knew nothing about network marketing, Brooke, like absolutely nothing. I'd never even heard of it. I grew up in New York City. So like growing up in a city, there aren't a lot of like Tupperware parties and like things like that. So I didn't know anything about the industry. I had no like preconceived ideas about whether it was a pyramid scheme or any of that stuff. I was just like all about becoming my own boss, right? Like owning my own life. I, had worked 3 or 4 years in a corporate job in New York City after I graduated from college. And it was sucking the life out of me. Like I just learned really quickly that like traditional 9 to 5 type situations were not for me. So I was like itching. I had the itch to like do something for myself. And I had a friend at the time who was getting certified in health coaching. He was telling me about how like once the program's over, you just start your own business. Like you just become your own boss. And I was sitting at a desk, 8 hours a day. And I was like putting on weight and I was eating unhealthy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this health coaching thing because I'm going to learn how to get myself healthy because I don't feel very good right now. And this sounds like an entrepreneur opportunity. It's something I think I could really like doing. I went to health coaching school, graduated, changed my entire life, my entire way of eating, changed my nutrition, decided I was going to build this business. And I started going to networking groups. So remember the old days of in-person networking?
Yep, totally.
So I started going to networking groups. I, joined one that was, one of those be there at 7 a.m. once a week type of deals. And I met somebody there who was also a health coach who was in network marketing. And we got lunch one day and she started telling me about her network marketing products and how it's a great add-on for health coaching. And I was like, all right, cool, sign me up. Like I was struggling with the trading time for money thing as a health coach, right? Even though I was an entrepreneur, I was now trading time for money and I was exhausted. I was not making that much. So I was like, residual income, quality products, sounds like a win-win, sign me up. So I jumped in, like I said, no ideas about the industry, just open and excited. I did really, really well in my first couple of years, just off of adrenaline and excitement. And then after that first couple of years, I just kind of hit a plateau that I think a lot of people in network marketing hit, where I'd run out of people to talk to. I'd hit up everybody I knew. There just wasn't, I didn't have enough people to talk to anymore. So I started doing Google searches, how to build your network marketing business online, how to use social media to build your network marketing business. I started doing all these things. And I spent longer than I'd like to admit being a freebie seeker,
Oh yeah, I totally was there too.
Right? We're jumping from freebie to freebie, hoping that it was going to bring all these puzzle pieces together and it was going to help me break out of this plateau that I was in where I'd been at the same rank for 3 years. And I was earning decent income, for the network marketing industry. I think I was earning, between $5,000 and $7,000 a month. It was not bad, but I wanted more. I wanted more. Freebie after freebie after freebie. Finally, I just bit the bullet and I paid $30,000 to be in my very first mentorship program. And did not have the money, put it on a credit card, but was just like, you know what? Like, I gotta learn this stuff. Like I've got to invest to take myself to the next level. So dove into digital marketing, social media strategy. Really, truly, I think finally found my calling and my passion. I just geeked out. I loved it. I loved it. So yeah. So, I started getting some results. I ended up leaving that company I was with and starting fresh with a new company, started building 100% online with that new company. And that was 3 years ago. And I'm now the number 3 earner with that company. And
congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. And have built a really amazing team, and I've done it the way I really always dreamed of. It's been using social media. It's, you're the queen of systems. It's organized, it's systematized, always room for improvement though. That's why I love learning from you. It's been just an awesome experience to finally feel like I have this business that reflects the life I've been dreaming of having for the past 10 years since I became an entrepreneur.
That's awesome. And I love that you didn't stop, and it's the commitment of sometimes it's going to take a little while. Because I think in network marketing, we're sold on this idea of the lifestyle and how amazing it's going to be. And you see the people that are walking across the stage and they have these beautiful houses and these amazing lives and everything. And you're like, I want to get there. But we think that we're going to get there next month.
Right.
Where it can take you 10 years to get there.
Yeah, it really can. I often call myself the 10-year overnight success story, because people love to especially when you get to that place where you're one of the top leaders in your company, people love to assume that it was easy for you. Right. And I've only been with this company 3 years. So it probably does seem like a really fast, growth curve or whatever to the top. But I'm like, peeps, I've been at this for 10 years.
Right.
I have failed way more times than I've succeeded. And while the last 3 years might look like success after success after success, I've definitely failed, and I've worked hard to get where I am.
Well, you had 7 years to build a foundation. So you knew all of the things of what not to do. And I think that's what people don't see, is they don't see all of it's like the iceberg analogy, right? You don't see everything that's under the water, all of the things that really helped you to put you into a place where you could just succeed. Well, I know that your jam is all about Facebook groups, and I absolutely love that you despise VIP groups as much as I do.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Hate them.
Because they just don't work. They're your own infomercial, and people don't watch infomercials at night on purpose. Right. I don't know anyone who comes home from work and they're like, let's sit down and watch an infomercial together.
Or let me tune into the infomercial I DVR'd last night. No.
Yeah, right. Right. And so no one wants to be in your group that's like that. So this is your jam. Let's talk about Facebook groups and how to make it so it's not an infomercial, but use it as a tool that can really help build your business.
Yes. Okay. I love this conversation. I love Facebook groups. I think that Facebook groups are like the hidden gem when it comes to building network marketing on social media. There's so many things I love about them, but what I really love to use them as is what I like to call a tool for evaluation. So what we see a lot of network marketers doing, and by the way, I did this for years. So it's not like I'm immune to doing things ways that don't work.
Right.
For years, I had VIP groups, and I would recreate them and try and figure out why aren't they working. And what I mean by a VIP group is, like you said, an infomercial, where it's you invite all of your family and friends and customers into this one same group, and you're posting, promos from your company, sales that are happening, announcing new customers that are coming in. Most of the time, people don't really want to be there. I mean, I remember when VIP groups really became a thing. And I feel like every single day I was being invited without permission into somebody else's VIP group, right? From various different companies. And I remember just feeling why doesn't this person just have a conversation with me? I'm already connected with them on Facebook. We're already friends. If I was interested, I probably would have reached out, or you could have reached out to me too. We could have had a conversation, but to just add people without asking into a group that's all about sales just didn't make sense to me. If you have a bunch of people on your Facebook page that are already not interested, moving them into a private group where you slam them with deals and promos, it's not going to make them interested, right? The way that I really use Facebook groups, I use them a few different ways, but the main way I use them for prospecting is for what I call evaluation. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that when somebody becomes interested in what you're doing off of a post that you make, let's say on Facebook or Instagram, and you create that curiosity and they're interested, what we want to do is straight away send them a link. We want to be like, oh, cool, you're interested. Here's my link. Go buy it. And 9 times out of 10, that doesn't really work. And it's because that person usually needs more information to make a decision. The way I use Facebook groups and what I love about Facebook groups is you can almost use them like a drip campaign, right? So when somebody's like interested, rather than just sending them your link, what if you were to say, I've got some really cool stories from other people that have used these products with great results. I'd love to share some of those with you. Can I tag you in them inside of a private group, right? Yesterday, I did a workshop on exactly how this product helps with X, Y, and Z results. And I think it would be right up your alley based on what you're saying. Would you like me to add you into that group and tag you in the workshop, right? Rather than putting them in a group where they're just getting bombarded with sales posts, they're actually getting information about how this product can benefit them, right? Or opportunity too, how this opportunity can benefit them, how this product can benefit them. And what that allows them to do is it allows them to sit inside of the group and evaluate, like, is this the right product for me? Is this the solution I've been looking for? Is this the right team for me? Is this the right company for me? I think people can get a really good sense of your team culture inside of private groups too. So they can just sit there and evaluate. Sometimes sometimes somebody will just convert right away as soon as you put them in there. And sometimes they hang in that group for 3 or 4 months, just watching and seeing like more stories and more workshops and feeling that team culture. And then when they're ready, they're like, all right, I'm ready to go. So rather than using these private groups as like, hitting them with promo posts all the time, like really giving valuable information that allows them to evaluate, is this what I've been looking for?
I love that, because it's all about helping them and serving them where they're at. And I talk a lot about arrows out marketing, and it's all about how can I be of service to other people instead of arrows in, where it's all about me. I have a promotion or a next level that I'm going to hit, or I'm only $500 away from earning my trip. Who will buy from me?
Yes.
That kind of thing. It's really focused on how can we really best serve these people and what problems do they have? I have the solution. Let me hand you that solution so you can see it. And then it's your choice of what you're going to do with it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it works really, really well. And, groups are still the thing that Facebook is actually pushing the most amount of money into right now, putting the most amount of energy into. Groups are here to stay. People overwhelmingly say that they stay on Facebook because of groups that they love, right? So if you can create an environment and a community like that for potential customers or potential team members, they're going to want to be a part of your world instead of being like repelled or annoyed by your world.
So give us some ideas of some content that you can post that's not spammy. It's not, here's this new product that just came out or that my company just launched and it's amazing, you got to try it. Like, how would you create posts that still quote unquote sell, but don't do it in that salesy way?
That's a really good question. So there's a few different types of posts that I use inside of these prospecting groups and that I teach people to use. One of them is engagement type posts, right? Because you need people to talk in a group, people to actually see the content, right? So Facebook's not going to show your group if it's just a bunch of you putting out stuff, nobody interacting. So once a week, I put out an engagement post, which is just something that is a silly question to get people talking. And it can be something that's really relevant to what it is that you sell and do, or it could be something not relevant at all. Like, are you a night owl or a morning person? Coffee or tea? Just these things that gets people really talking. So I usually do one of those once a week just to keep the group excited and engaged. I do a workshop once a week, and a workshop is, I would almost say, like a modern day opportunity type presentation. So it's not like, here's my company, here's the CEO, like, here's the compensation plan, all those elements to an old school opportunity presentation that like people really don't care about. It's very benefits driven. Mm-hmm. So it's very much like, how can you get X, Y, and Z results without doing that thing you hate? We do one of those once a week, and that is really for closing. So that's where I say we bring people from interested to sold throughout those workshops. Now, most people that are not very interested aren't going to watch a 30-minute workshop So the idea is to get people in the group that are actually interested in checking it out, right? So we do an engagement post once a week, a workshop once a week. We do a survey, like the poll feature, the poll feature in groups. We do one of those once a week. And in the poll, we'll normally ask, we'll use it almost as market research. Like, what kind of content would you like to see in this group on a regular basis? Would you like to see more testimonials? Would you like more workshops? Would you like a challenge? Things like that. So just to kind of poll the audience and see where they're at. And then we do testimonials once a week. So that testimonial can be a written testimonial from somebody on your team, or it can be an interview style. So, we'll bring in somebody just on Zoom, go live in the group and just interview them on, how their success has been on a specific product or in the business, right? Again, very, very benefits driven. So those are the different types of posts that we just kind of rotate through and cycle through. And we really, really encourage people talking, so it's not like my group where I'm talking at you all the time, but it's a community and it's a place where people can really enjoy being. So that's kind of the goal of it, is to get people talking, get people engaged, get people excited. They want to be a part of the community, and then produce content that, one, increases engagement, and two, increases that evaluation process where we can take people from interested to sold.
I love that. And one of the things to kind of add on to that I teach when it comes to Facebook groups is that your Facebook group should be around one solution. So if you think about it that way of what is the solution that I'm offering, which this sometimes blows people's minds, especially when you have a company that has 1,000 different products that can solve 1,000 different things. And they think they need to talk about all of those solutions. And that is really not true. And they think, well, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot if I only do one. And the thing is, you get to be known for that one thing.
Exactly.
And then everyone's going to come. I have a client who she is with a health and wellness company, and she takes one product that helps people go into ketosis. Mm-hmm. So everything she does is around being on the keto diet. She does different recipes, and they're amazing recipes. So now even she is a client of mine, but anyone that I know that was thinking about being keto, I'm oh, you got to be in her group because she's going to talk about this, this, and this. And so when you can really become an expert on that one thing, then when you do opportunity kind of workshops and things like that, you're still bringing value because you're focused on that one solution.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I love you. I could not agree with you more. I'll give you another really cool example too. So there's this woman that is a client of mine, and she is in an MLM that promotes weight loss. Okay. How many network marketing companies out there promote weight loss?
Tons of them.
Right. It's actually one of the hardest niches because there's so many different people doing it. So she really niched down as a menopause weight loss coach.
Cool.
Right. She's an older lady, right? She's going through menopause and she looks phenomenal, and she specializes in helping women lose weight during menopause. So she did a TikTok last week, right? She's all about the TikTok. She did a TikTok last week. It went viral. It blew up. And she has her group, it's called Menopause Weight Buster. She has her group in her profile on TikTok. So this TikTok blows up, and it's all about the product that she sells and how it helps women going through menopause lose the muffin top or whatever, right? 150 people request to join her group after that video.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
But imagine if she wasn't specifically niched down into menopause and weight loss, and she was just kind of talking about this product that helps you lose weight. I guarantee you it A, wouldn't have gone viral, and B, there wouldn't have been so many people trying to get into that.
Exactly. And you can do it with products. You could also do it with in recruiting. So when I figured this part out, my goal when I joined network marketing was to retire my husband because he was in a job that he hated, and I just wanted him home with my kids and everything. So when I started talking only about that, I started to get a whole team that all they wanted to do was retire their husband too. And it created this amazing community, and that all of us were cheering each other on. And then when someone was able to retire their husband, it was this huge thing for our whole community of my team that were yes, I can do this too because you did that. And it makes it so much easier to lead your team when you all have a common goal.
That's such a good point too, because I think, in network marketing, we're oftentimes trained to just take anybody, right? If they have a heartbeat, take them on your team. And I built my business that way for 7 years and I was miserable. Like I had a team of people that I did not enjoy working with, to be very honest with you. Like I just didn't enjoy it. They weren't my people. And when I started over, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this my way this time. You know what I mean? I'm going to speak my language. I can be a little intense. And I think I always like held that back because I was like, oh, I don't want to be too much for people, you know? And then I just don't even care anymore. I'm just like totally who I am. And I want to attract people that want to be six-figure earners. You can come hang on my team if you want to make $300 a month, but the culture is about becoming a six-figure earner. And I've attracted a bunch of intense people. And I love it.
Did you start working with the people that you truly want to work with?
Yeah.
So I remember having people on my team that like couldn't even put in orders. And every month I'm on the phone with them, like helping them put in orders and everything. This is miserable. Like, why did I say, yes, come join my team?
Right. Exactly. Oh my gosh. There's so many things that I used to do that attracted in the wrong people. And I was miserable. And I was like, I didn't realize I was like really bringing that on myself.
And it's because it goes from this scarcity to abundance mentality. Because when you're in that scarcity mentality, you're going to take anyone. But when you're in this abundance, when you're like, there are tons of people out there that want to be six-figure earners. And when they find me, they're going to want to join me. And that's it.
Exactly. And like, who doesn't want to work with those people?
I know, right? So, and having a goal like that, really, you'll find that you don't need as many people as you think. Because I would much rather have 5 people that are like that than 500 people that I have to be on the phone to place orders with, you know?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. I used to call customer service for people on my team.
Yep, I did that too.
Like looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? Now somebody has a problem. I'm like, did you call customer service? They're like, no, where's the number? On the website.
Find it. Yeah, I love it. Well, Beck, if people want to know more about you and all the amazingness that you do, where is a great place for them to find you?
I'm an OG Facebooker. So you can come join my private community. It's called the MLM Leadership Lab with Beck. And that's probably the best place to find me.
Awesome. I don't think I'm in your group.
Come hang.
I need to come hang with you. And thank you so much for sharing all of your great knowledge with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.